There you go. We're online. And yes. I think we're online everywhere. I think. Yes, YouTube just told me that we're online on YouTube. There we go. Yes. I think we are still online. Let's go and check. Let's go and check to make sure. Yes, we're online. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Camera went crazy. I'm sorry, just a second. Hey, Jorge, how's it going? Yeah, the camera went nuts. I'll come back in a second with the camera, wait. Yeah, the camera went totally crazy when the phone, because it's my phone, and it's my phone, right? I have this set up with my phone, and it vibrated now, and when it vibrated to tell me that I was coming in live, it went totally crazy. Let's try again. Let's try again now. Oh my god. What's going on there? Yeah. There you go. There you go. Here we are. Here we are. Were you waiting for me there, Jorge? I'm sorry I'm late. I'm very sorry I'm late. I am very, very late. I mean, you were probably very, very early. Jorge Castellón. Jorge Castellón. Well, that's how we would say in Uruguay. We say Castellón. You're from, but yeah, where I'm from, we say Castellón. But I guess most other places we say Castellón or Castellón. For me, it would be Castellón. Brilliant, brilliant. Thank you for being here, mate. I don't know who else is here. I don't know if anyone else is actually going to be here. But if anyone else is here, say hello. And of course, give me a like. Give me a like for this shenanigans that I go through. Just for that. Thank you very much. Yeah, oh my god. Yes, something happens every time, you know. Just have to go through all these things. And it's like baptism by fire every single time. It's amazing. It's really amazing. Get used to it, I guess. I'll get used to it. I don't know. And I guess one thing I do need, I very much need, is to have like a screen, like a proper like start screen, you know, to show that, oh, I'm live, you know. But yeah, I don't have that. And I should have like this, yeah, like the presentation thing, you know. I'm like, it's live, and then boom, I show up, you know, something like that. I see everyone has that. I don't have it. Where else are you streaming? I'm also on Twitch. So you can look for me on Twitch there, on as beardscript, as always. You can look for me there, and if that's your thing. Yeah, so if you actually prefer Twitch, go on Twitch. I'm trying to look there on Twitch if I'm getting any love there on Twitch, but I usually don't. I think, I don't know, Twitch hates me, and so I'm usually not, you know, there's usually nobody there. Oh, there's Jorge. Hello, Jorge. How's it going, mate? And thanks for the follow there. So yeah, we're two here on Twitch now. We're two. It's just you and me on Twitch, and I don't think there's anybody else. I don't think there will be anybody else today. Yeah, you know, that's how Twitch is. Like I said, it doesn't like me. Twitch does not like me, and oh really? Oh, interesting. Twitch has less delay, so I prefer. It says okay. Okay, yeah, I guess, I don't know. Whatever works best, you know? Yeah. So, today I have something interesting, something good. I didn't even announce this anywhere. I didn't announce this anywhere. This is just very. I mean, this is not impromptu. What I actually did with this one is I made the I said I was going live only on the scheduled thing, right? So I didn't announce it. I just went live. I just went, yeah, I'm just gonna go live. I just I just set up the live, like the scheduled live, and see if some people catch it before it happens, right? And well, hopefully some people showed up. Hey, he's Jorge, right? Who else we need? And if you're there because you caught it somehow, thank you very much. Thank you very much for being there. Just leave a like, and yeah, and say hello. Say hello in the chat. Say hello in the channel. Say hello back. Yes, this is fantastic. This is fantastic. And yeah, and for those of you who showed up, who actually made it here, I'm going to show you some stuff that I did and that I prepared for today for you. This is not going to be about the tower defense that we're building. That's going to be for that's going to be tomorrow and Saturday. Like always, I'm probably gonna do like this longer run on Fridays and Saturdays, to do the game development, like proper game development, just do that. Yeah, I think I shouldn't do like this 2 long runs throughout the week. I don't know, not yet. It's hard to find the proper motivation right now, honestly. So because first things first, I did this video where I showed I did this little extract video of one of the live streams, one of the latest live streams that I did, showing how to select things on the screen, how to pick objects in your scene. Remember we did that? I did a short for that. I did a little, well, not a short, just a little cut there, like a smaller video. Took a while, but I more or less got the grasp of how I should go about making these little videos, showing how to do stuff and taking them from the different live streams that we make. But it bombed. It just, I think it has. I don't know. I'm gonna go look now. But it's showing me now. It has. Let me see. Let me reload this just to see. It has 92 views. 92 views. I mean, and it's been more than 2 days now. So it's more. It's been. So that's nothing, right? That's not. That's just what It bombed. It bombed. It went so bad. So bad. So yeah. I'm like. It's always good to have these videos. It's always good to have these videos because I think it's always great material for everyone to use it, and I love it. I love to give more content and all that. But obviously, when you see these videos just going bombed, nobody watching them, it's just so frustrating. YouTube showed it to like 2,000 people, impressed it, like put it in 2,000 places. Apparently 2,000 people went through, like saw the thumbnail or something, they didn't click, so YouTube thinks, oh no, this is shit. So yeah, that's the thing. Here Jorge says, I found the yes, I found the Rogue engine recently and I saw some of your videos, then I saw your live announcement, so now I'm here. Oh, interesting. So you saw the live announcement. Oh, interesting. Interesting because I didn't think like people would find the live announcement. Honestly, I was mostly going blind there. I was just going blind. I didn't know people were going to actually find this, and I came on late because I was baking bread. I have a good excuse. I no, not baking. Sorry, I was kneading the dough. So I usually every few days I do kneading and all that. Just leave it there on the just the countertop there. Just leave it there until the next day, and then the next day I bake it. So yeah, that's what I was doing tonight. So yeah, I'm a little late. I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry. Also, I had some bad news from a friend. Like his cat died, and it was so sad, so sad. And yeah, I was just found out like, oh, I just have to go live now. I have to put on a nice face. So yeah, mate, if you're watching this, I'm very sorry, mate. And yeah, this feels so bad. So so yeah, this is it. We're here now, and you're here now, and that's what matters. So I'm gonna give you some good stuff. I'm gonna give you some goodies, because you deserve it. You've been waiting for this, and yes, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. And yeah, I don't know how many are we going to be here. I don't know if we're gonna be 1, 2, 3, or nobody. I don't think there's. I think Jorge left YouTube, and everyone left YouTube. I don't think there's anybody there anymore. Awesome, magnificent. That's what we want. That's what we want. Nobody there. Okay, let's go there. Let's go there. Let's. It's all. I'm all yours, Jorge. I'm all yours tonight. I'm all yours. You have me all for yourself now. So I'm gonna bring you here, and I'm gonna show you some stuff. This is what everyone else is missing right now, because you know, what are they even doing? What are they? Yeah, they're missing it, Jorge. Jorge says, sorry to hear that about your friend. Best wishes from over here. Thank you, mate. Thank you, mate. Yeah. It's so sad. So sad. Pets should outlive us. Pets should outlive us because, yeah. So sad, man. So sad. But yeah. Let's go. Let's go to some happier stuff. Game development stuff. All right. Let's I'll keep YouTube on in the background. Says, thank you, Jorge. Thank you. Yeah, let's thank you for the live there. Let's see if more people join in on YouTube. But I don't care. You know what? This is for you tonight. This is for you tonight. This is for Jorge. And in fact, this is something that someone who I thought was going to join, because he always joins, Simeon. You're not here tonight. You're not here tonight, and I'm bringing you something that you asked for. And I'm bringing it tonight. And you're not here tonight. Yeah, I built for games. I'm the builder, the owner. Yes. Let me show you what I did. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna go on. This is the first time doing this on. I had to upgrade to Windows 11. Because I had to. And yeah, so there's probably gonna be some stuff there, but I don't know. I hope it's just gonna be fine. I don't know. Let's see. Let's try this out. All right. Okay. So what do we have here? What can you see? I think you can see what I'm seeing, right? This is a terrain, right? You see this terrain here, this thing here. Ooh, has lots of little squares there that are moved in different directions. That you can see all that, right? You can see all that. Okay, so what is this? Okay, so I've been playing around the other day. Well, a couple of times, the two live streams that we did about the tower defense game that we're building. Simeon asked about doing a hide map thing, right? Using a hide map to use the using a hide map to create like this little terrain, right? And what I said basically was that it makes no sense to start making a tower defense and make a map generator for a tower defense, right? Because we want something more precise for this tower defense right now. So let's focus on tower defense mechanisms, because that mechanics. That's what we're going to do. But then I thought, okay, I'll get some free time. I'll try to just put something together, because Simeon is always there, and when you show up, I get this sense of purpose, get this motivation, and so I went for it, and I said, okay, I'm just gonna build this thing. And I'm just gonna show you how it works. And it's a little tool that I built, and yeah, there's some stuff there is interesting about this, but I think it's an interesting tool because it generates this map. It's just generated, right? It's generated right now. You don't really need anything this is not generated in runtime. This is generated, properly generated, right? You can grab this, and I'm gonna reset it, right? And it's flat now, and this is generated as flat now, okay? And this now, if I generate it again, it's gonna be generated again, right? So it's gonna be this map again. So the same height map generated the same map, okay? That's what's interesting about this, right? So I have my third person controller here, and I can walk around my little map that I generated there, okay? So I wanted to show you this because so that you could see how this works, how it's built, and yes, and how this actually put together through multiple things. But it's actually quite simple, right? It's quite simple. It has some complicated stuff, but there's a caveat there on the complicated part, okay? And it's saying, yes, looks like noise terrain map. Well, it's a height map more than it's noise. I think it's more like I think someone built this. Someone made this height map. And I basically just took it from Google, right? That image that you see down there, right? That image there, that's a height map from that I got from Google, and these other two are height maps that I just draw on on drawing software. So yeah, that's more or less what it is. So what's interesting is that this is a proper mesh, right? This is generated mesh. I can grab this and just create a prefab with this, right? So this is now a prefab that I have with, you know, a little mesh there. So yeah, that's interesting, right? That's interesting because now you can have a you know, a proper mesh, right? A proper mesh that we can use. I still have a few problems with the there. I have to flip this thing for some reason. I have to go around flipping the image, which I like. But we'll see about that. We'll see about that because, you know, I can properly use this, like just have it outside of this thing, and there you go. You know, this is a mesh that now this is a proper map that I can use. It has a tree mesh there, but I can add a rapier body, give it a fixed like that, right? And it's now there, right? Because this it's only useful really it's only really useful when you have when you're generating the game in the editor, right? It's not very useful when you're this is only useful in the editor. This is not useful. This component is only useful when you're creating the map. Then you can just remove this, right? You can just take this out. But we're gonna leave it here because we're gonna create a little map here. I'm just gonna show you how it works. We're gonna remove this from here. We don't need it. And this can generate it again, right? It will generate the map again, right? Now we have to add the texture there to our little map. It just creates this thing here, right? In fact, if I show you the wireframe here, look at the wireframe. Look at the wireframe. There you go, right? And you can see the little map there, right? I can add the tree mesh now, right? Tree mesh collider there, and you can see that the tree mesh collider, whoop, there. So now I just go in like that, and oh, I can walk around my tree mesh. See that? How pretty, how nice is that? Look at that. And yeah, you can walk around. You can walk around your little map that you just generated, which is, I think it's nice, right? I think it's nice because this is a properly like generated map. It's not yeah, it's a generated map. It's not a runtime generated or anything. So, you know, it's saved there and it's just going to be downloaded like any other asset in your game, which is cool. I think it's nice, right? I think it's cool. Yeah, that's more or less it for showing it off, right? Because it's very, very simple. You can, you can set the size, how big you want the map to be. You can set the segments that you want to have. Like in this case, I'm going to set 64 and it generates this 64 lines. Oh, I generated it twice. What do I do? What do I do? No, what do I do? Oh no, it's like that. Is it like that? No. Oh, there. Okay, you can see that. Yeah. I did something with the material there. But yeah, you can generate 164 there. You can generate one. Yeah, you have to reselect it to see the tree mesh, right? To see the tree mesh working properly. Because yeah, the tree mesh is not the same, right? What I'm gonna give it this material back there so you can see it. Yeah, there you go. There you go. So yeah, let's generate it again. Yeah, right. Let's generate it with I don't know 128. Right there we are. You can see how and there you see you reselect, and you can see the tree mesh generating again because it's separated. Right, the tree mesh is not the same as the it's not part of the same thing. Right, it's not part of the same system. This is just a little component that I built. And it just works here in the editor. You know, it just works here in the editor. After you've generated the mesh, you can now use it like that. Perfectly fine with anything. So that's, I think it's brilliant, right? I think it's brilliant. You can bring in any kind of, let's say I bring this thing here, right? This one. So I generate that. And there you go. There you go. I have another one. I have another one. This is one I created the other day, right? So that was, I just painted it, right? And there you go. You know, you have this other map here that you can see there. Which is interesting, right? It's interesting. You can play around with it, and and you can reset it as well, right? So you can have that. There you go. And yes, it's cool. And you can play. You can just play the scene and go in and do stuff there, right? What else? What else? What else? What did I do here? Okay. So, interesting thing about this is that it's actually quite simple, right? It's actually quite simple in general. But most importantly, the parts that weren't that simple, I looked around for them on YouTube. Big thanks to Simon Dev. Simon Dev, if you haven't seen his channel, his YouTube channel, you should go look it up. It's really, really good. He has some amazing stuff. And most of the stuff that he has, you could just bring into Rogue Engine because it's just THREE.js with some power stuff. You can just use THREE.js in a more powerful way. That's all it really is. It's not that much really. It's a bunch of tools around THREE.js, right? So most of the stuff, most of the open source stuff that is out there, you can actually just use, bring them in, put them in a component, pack them up, and use them here. So I'm going to show you how that is, how that works. Okay, it's not that hard really. It's pretty simple actually. This I can just remove this. Yes. So I'm gonna show you how this works. Actually quite simple. Okay. So what we have here is okay, these are some variables I need just to hold the world scale, world position, world quaternion, that stuff of the map, because I took it like a hybrid approach here. You're gonna see. So we take the texture image, right? Texture we can use as a height map, right? Then we have the size that we want, right? The segments, right? How many little cubes we want, the size, right? How big we want the map to be, and the height of the map, right? How tall we want our height map to actually go. And then we have two buttons, right? We generate and we reset, right? We have create with true is just reset, right? So because it simply just goes through the same thing and simply sets everything to 0, but it does a new creation, right? That actually regenerates it, so goes through everything and plots it down. That way you don't mess. You won't have to like remove the mesh and re-add it and mess with your material that you added and all that, so you can keep everything there, right? And yes, all we're doing here, right, in the creation part, right, we're simply checking if we already have that object in right. If it already has an object that has an ismap property, in the user data, and if it has it, right, we're gonna say, okay, we already have our map there, so it uses that as the map. Instead of, you see how we have here the map that we generated first, like this little mesh that we generated, the placeholder mesh. When we are using this in this way, right, we make sure that we're always using the same mesh, right? We're not just creating a new one on top, right? So this is a proper way to handle that. And what it does is then it sets the rotation to 0, right, of the map, and it rotates it 90 degrees because we're going to use a plane, and the plane is already rotating 90 degrees on the x-axis, so we're going to rotate it back 90 degrees, and we're going to set the scale as well to be the size of the object that we're creating, right? The size property we have here, right? And we're going to set the segments of the plane geometry to be that of our segments there, right? So that's simple enough, right? That's simple enough. So the width and height segments are going to be our segments. Very easy. Then we have our object 3D, which is simply going to add like this object 3D, the object that has this thing. We're adding the map there, right? And then what we're doing is we are updating the world matrix of it. Then we're getting our world scale, our world position, all these things, and because we're going to use them later here, as you see when we get in the vertices. And what else are we doing? Yeah, I think, well, I actually think we're not really using. No, I used it before, but I don't think we need a position in quaternion anymore. No, I don't think we need it anymore. I think we probably don't need that anymore. No, I think I used that for a previous approach. I just built this in a couple of hours, yesterday. And yeah, so I'm sorry about that. But yeah, we probably just need this one. I'm probably going to be removing these other two, yes. And yes, and then the get vertices. We're going to get the vertices. We're first resetting everything, flattening it out, and then raising it back up. There's probably a better way of doing this. There is probably, but I don't know. Really, I really don't know. So yeah, I'm just flattening it all out and then bringing it back up. Otherwise, if we don't reset it, it would just go up. It's just keep going up, right? So we don't want that. And yeah, but there is probably a better way of doing this. I don't know. Honestly. So what else? Then yes. So what we do here is needs update. We have to do this right after we apply the heights to every part of the map. We need to tell the positions of this is the actual vertices, the positions of the vertices. We need to tell in the renderer that the positions of the vertices need to update, right? So then in the next tick, right, the next cycle is just gonna show it to you, and then we're telling it that this is the map, this is the actual map, right? And we're copying the geometry because because we created. I'm sorry. Because we are actually taking in the plane geometry that we created here, right? And we are copying it here. Why are we doing that? Well, because the plane geometry has a different serialization where it simply takes in these values, right? So it will reset every time. It will reset every time when we want to serialize and reserialize it. So in order for it to keep the stuff, we're using a map which has its own geometry, its own stuff, and it's own to JSON and from JSON, all that, right? So we're just copying the parameters of the plane geometry that is modified. And we're taking those parameters into a new image that has a different constructor, a different instructions, right? A different interface, right? The implementation of the interface is simply a bit different. It's the same interface, it's just a bit different, differently implemented. And yes, so that's what we're doing. I think is it all good there, right? Are we making sense here? Are we making sense here? Are we making sense? Thank you very much, Jorge. There. Yes, it's built using TypeScript. Yes, Jorge. Yes, Aaron saying making a game in JS, brave. No, not that brave, really. I mean, nowadays you can do anything. I invite you to go into Crazy Games or Pokey there and play a bunch of them, or just go into the 3.js website and look at all the examples, amazing stuff built with 3.js. I think that's just. So much stuff you can do there. I mean, yeah, just look for yourself, and you'll see. You'll find out. Whoa, you know. Usually, people who say that have never tried. Have never even cared to see how it looks, how it goes. But yeah, 3js.3.org. So you go to 3js.org, look for 3js on the web, and you're gonna find everything there. It's the open source, so you can see the repo there, you can see everything. Or you can go to pocky.com and crazygames.com and play games there built with 3js. Or you can go to rogueengine.io and see everything we've been doing there. Jorge says, I had some other questions if you don't mind answering. Do you think a 2D game would be good or okay to build on the Rogue Engine, or would you recommend just building in 3D? Okay, so if you're using sprites and all those things, I can't recommend. I mean, I don't think it's the best option. I think it's good if you want to use sprites and all these things in a 3D environment, right? If you can use the 3D environment for like the perspectives and all that, and that's something you can use, then I recommend the 3D environment. It's really good for that. Yes, but it's going to come at the cost of a bit of performance, of course, right? If you're using a proper 2D engine that is optimized for 2D and has all the tooling around 2D, right? It's probably going to make your life a lot easier as well, right? Because they've been focused on making 2D much better, right? So like something like Pixie, right? Something like that. If you're looking to use JavaScript, that is, of course, right? If you're making a web game. I think that's, the kind of thing that, Pixie excels at. This sort of engines excel at. The reason I would use Rogue Engine for a 2D game is because I want to use the 3D environment. Like, I don't know if I would use your orthographic camera and start playing around with all these sprites here. I don't know how much sense that makes, really. I mean, there's not that much tooling in 3JS to do this. You definitely can do it. You can definitely do it, and it will just not be that comfortable if you're coming from a 2D world, right? I think if you're coming from a 2D world, if 2D is your world and that's the thing you do, you probably want a 2D engine, right? You probably want 2D focus thing. I think, right? I'm not gonna I'm not gonna say that that's like it's not the factor or anything. Nobody's gonna go and put a gun in your hand and say, "Oh yeah, do this," but I think it just makes sense. The rule is whatever's easier, right? I mean, whatever makes your game happen. Whatever makes your game happen, right? You want to build your game. You want to make your game. I do know from what I've seen, says Jorge, I like Rogue Engine for my 3D game. Thank you, mate. Thank you. Yes. So here's the thing. If you like Rogue Engine for your 3D game, you like 3JS for your 3D game. That's always what it is about. It's always about 3JS. It's always about 3JS. 3JS, being the tool to build games in your for the web. Definitely to build anything 3D on the web. Really, it's amazing. Highly recommend people to try it out by itself, as always. Yes. Okay, let's keep looking down here, okay? Okay, let's keep digging into this thing. Because here comes the complicated part, the more part. It's just harder to get to grasp what's going on, right? So, okay, hear me out here. We can see that we're actually doing this thing about get vertices, right? This should be called something else. I actually meant it to be one thing, and then it just turned into something. It's actually about setting the vertices height, but I didn't call this something else. I'm gonna rename it, obviously, because I built this in like 2 hours. It's like just code diarrhea. Just that's all I did. And I copy pasted stuff as well, like the stuff there. You can see, you recognize. Oh yeah, I just copy pasted this and you see how I modified a few things, because this is a tree mesh. This is the actual tree mesh that I built for for the Rapier Collider tree mesh, right? This is the actual code that I used. I just basically just copy pasted that and changed a few things. As you can see, it's not the same. Obviously, it's absolutely not the same. I had to do a few other things there, but more or less the same concept, right? What I did was I just grabbed the X, the Y, and Z, and I'm setting the Z to be something higher than what it is right now. Yeah, that's interesting, right? That's interesting. It's cool, right? It's pretty cool. So yes, and what's important here, right, is that I'm getting the image data, because we need to get the image data, right? We need to get the we need to print the image on a canvas, right? We need to print the image on a canvas, and we're gonna look at all the pixels, right? And we're gonna try and get what the height information is for it, right? So we're coming here, we're getting the image data, and we put the image in the canvas here, right? We're setting the width and the height to be that of the image right there, and we're getting the image data from the context of that canvas. Okay. So then what is it that we're doing after we have the image data here, right? We're getting all our pixels, and we're navigating every single pixel to get every single part of it, right? And for every single sorry, not pixel, vertex. We're running through all the vertices here, right? So let's go again. We get the image data, right? We go through every vertex position, right? And we're going through all the vertices, right? And in every vertex we're getting the X, Y, and Z position, and we're getting the height, the new height that we want. Okay, and how are we doing this? We're getting the pixel height, this get pixel height thing. Okay, this is where things get complicated. Okay, this is the complicated part. Okay, why? This is the bilinear filtering they actually got from Simon Dev. You know, thank you, Simon Dev. He has a amazing YouTube channel. He's been making some amazing content for a while. I haven't seen much of his new stuff. He hasn't made much new stuff, but he definitely has some incredible stuff out there. You should definitely go and look and watch his older videos. And like I said, most of the stuff that he's made, you can actually grab that and he's got that on GitHub and all that. You can just grab that code and adapt it to make, like I just did here, and build something for yourself with that, right? In Rogue Engine, it would be a way to kind of make everything into components and just have something you can use in multiple games, even like this, because he has some little tools that are really good. And in this case, I have this bilinear filtering that he built, and I just simply I changed very few things. I think I just set up this different lerp that he created there as well, to the linear interpolation that he did, and yeah, that's it. So this is all we know. This is this lerp and this getting pixels float. Yeah, that's all I did. I think I changed the clamp. Yeah, I used the different clamp, the math utils clamp. I think that's all I did as changes goes. Well, I'm using my my image data here instead of his image data, so that's more or less the changes that I did. I didn't change that much, I think. Well, here these two lines are different. I know I changed these lines, but yes, so there are changes. Obviously there are some changes, but very, very few things. So you can actually grab THREE.js code that is out there, just basically here in a component, and it works. Okay. Yeah, so are we doing good here? Who else we have? Trying to understand what's going on here. It says Aaron 0. Yes, it's oh, sorry, no, I have to go up. Some more stuff going on here. Has some other question. Said I had 2 games in mind. Oh, sorry, I didn't read the other one. I had 2 games in mind, and one is a card game. Don't know if I should use 3D for an FPS shooter game, which makes sense in 3D. Yeah, well, if you're making a card game that is purely 2D, well, yeah, probably, I don't know, something like Pixie or something like that. But if you're making a card game, it's more like, I don't know, that has like more 3D environment and more perspective environment, like I don't know, like Hearthstone, for instance, right? You know, you could really use a Rogue engine like that, you know, for that. It would be brilliant. For that, yes, absolutely. I do know from what I've seen, that's the other one I read. I've used TypeScript for many, many years professionally and didn't want to switch to other languages to build a game. Yeah, well, you know, that's, I mean, it's always good to learn different languages and all that. Yeah, but I get you, you know, if that's what gets your game built, I mean, that's what you should do, definitely. You should go for that, 100%. And, oh, there, Jorge is telling Aaron there what's going on. How to use it earlier and now showing the code. Brilliant. Yes, I'm going to show you now, Aaron, how it works there. I'm going to show you in the engine there. I'm going to go back again there. Nabil comes in and says, what now said? HTML, CSS, JS. Now, hello, Nabil. Thank you for being here. Nabil Nachim, I guess. Nachem. Or Nachim? I don't know. Tell me if I'm saying it right. Tell me if Nabil. I guess it's Nabil or Nabil or something like that. Tell me if I'm saying it wrong, please. Yes. So this is mostly TypeScript, but yeah, it's all working there. It has some HTML, mostly has HTML and TypeScript working together there. HTML and TypeScript generating the JavaScript, right? Of course, right? Obviously, so always JavaScript. Even if you're writing TypeScript, you're writing JavaScript. Remember that. Remember that. Don't ever forget that it's actually JavaScript. Okay, so yes, that's what the bilinear filtering. So why is it doing this? Why are we doing this actually, right? And I think Simon Dev explains it really well in his video about, if you go look into his channel, he has a channel about world generator, and he explains this very well. Basically, if the terrain is it's best if I show you, right? If I show you here, right? So we have this terrain here, right? So we have this terrain. Let's go up. Okay. So we have this terrain here, right? And if basically, if the plane, if the thing we're using for the terrain does not match the image itself, right? The pixels. Say if we have like one pixel here, one pixel here, one pixel here, but then we have like one vertex here and one vertex here, right? So we have to blend those things. We have to have like a filtering to get, you know, how much are we actually going to raise this or not, right? So you can just pick that pixel or say, okay, in a specific position that is, right? Or you can say, okay, let's interpolate between them, right? We can interpolate between them and decide how much should we actually move, like make a little blend between the different things that are going on there. And he explains that obviously this is what what GPUs do, right? And to filter the different pixels in the screen. So it's a really interesting approach, right? Because it helps us get a very nice terrain, right? Very nice terrain, fairly easily, right? As you can see, it works really well, right? We just grab this and generate, and here you have a map, another map generated very easily. It's super fast. I mean, it's super fast, right? It's very, very, very fast, and it's pretty good in you know, with 128 is fairly decent, right? I mean, it's not bad at all, right? It's not bad at all. Look at that with the sun there, sunrise there. Isn't this cool? Isn't this nice? I think it's nice. Okay, so there we go. Let's go back. There you go. So we have all this stuff here that does the filtering, the bilinear filtering, all this tooling that you can find out there. You know, it can really help you get, you know, the get where you need to be sometimes, and you just you need to be able to put these things in, you know, in your code, understand what they're doing, of course, try to read through them, try to understand what's going on, because otherwise you got like totally lost. And as you can see here, this is what's actually doing the interpolation, right? This is the lerp that he brings in, right? When he interpolates between the three different parts of the three different parts of the coordinates, right? So that's very cool. That's very interesting, and that's what we want. That's what we want. Yes, that's what it's basically doing, and it's very simple. It's not that that long. I mean, it's just very, very short, very few lines of code, right? It's not a lot, and it does a really good job, I think, right? And it's going to be even less code because I'm going to remove a few things right here and there. And I just thought of one idea now how to fix a few things there. But yeah, but yes, I think it's pretty good, right? I think it's pretty good. We're gonna have I'm probably gonna release this as a package, right? I'm gonna put this as a package that you can download in your to use, and obviously I will try to keep updating it, doing all that. I'm probably gonna play around with it more and try to make one that is, a premium one for the lovely people who bought a license. You deserve an amazing terrain generator that we don't have yet. So, I'm gonna try and make a decent one that, you can have a few more things there, and I'm gonna try and build one pure premium one, and for everyone else who wants to play around with this, you have this really good really nice amazing code here that you can try out, you can play around with, and you can try and figure out how to build maybe a different solution here. You could use noise. He shows you there in one of his videos, Simon Dev shows you how to generate noise, Berlin noise, and different kinds of noise, blend them together to create all sorts of hide maps. So you can play around with that. You can play around with all these things. It's very fairly simple, as you can see. We're simply navigating the vertices. You see, you have here an example of how to go through all the vertices and apply something to them and modify them and actually update the mesh that you're creating, and how to do that in the editor, right? So that you generate something and it gets generated, and now you can just create a prefab out of it, and that prefab you can just start using now anywhere you want, right? And you don't need to generate this in runtime. You don't really need to generate this in runtime, which is a heavy, it's a heavy load of work. So, that's I think that's a good thing, right? Would I use this for a game, to create a game? I don't know. I think if you have like a proper Perlin noise generator and all that, that would be cool. But if you're good at Blender, and you can use some of the terrain generator tools in Blender, and actually separate them and all that, and have all the different materials for each one of the parts of the terrain, I'll probably use that. And why would I do that? Well, because if you're already good at that and you can use that, it's a proper tool to build, always to design stuff. That's the proper tool, right? What can this sort of tool be really helpful for? Like, what kind of tool would be good in this case? For instance, if I want to help you generate grass on your on your terrain, and if I can help you, manage those meshes and all that stuff. But in general, what you want is if there's a better tool for it, there's a better tool to generate meshes and to do all these things. Probably a better tool for it, right? So Blender is definitely better at generating meshes and helping you, design things and paint textures and all that. So you should always go for Blender to design and to, for 3D modeling in general. So, but it's really good to know that you can actually use this. For instance, if you want to generate terrain in runtime, here is an example of how you can do that, right? Here you can grab this and actually start generating a terrain in runtime. You can generate new chunks of terrain that, here and there. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome, right? Something that you could use, definitely. So yeah, okay, I read you here. Okay, let me see. Here's Simeone. Simeone, you're late. Simeone. I was just thinking of you the other day. I thought Simeone wanted this thing, and start building it. And here you are. You're late. I just didn't see the whole thing. Let me see. How much did you get to see? Let me go here. Let me see who else wrote. What do you mean by generating noise? I mean generating noise. You can scream very loud, or you can I don't want to scream very loud because I'm gonna I'm gonna get kicked out. But Simeone, hello, says, how are you? I'm doing good, Simeone. Thank you very much. Hope does Rose support that as a game engine? Does Rose support that as a game engine? If it supports that, what do you mean if it supports that? It's gonna support that. I don't know what that means. Can you repeat that, mate? Sorry. But yeah, I don't know how much you got to see here, Simeon. But Brian Back2 view float. Why are you even writing that, mate? What's that? What is all that stuff? What is this? You finally get your hands on terrain. It's gonna rain material. What do you mean, mate? Come on. Yes, but again, like I said, right? Like I said before, I don't know if you got to listen, if you got to this part where I said this, Simeon, but my recommendation is not to use this if there's a better option, right? Don't use don't generate your height map and stuff at runtime unless you absolutely need to. The best way to generate a terrain, right, is if you just want to create a mesh and generate the terrain like that. Sometimes maybe Blender is a better option for that, right? Blender gives you tools to even paint your terrain and do all these things, right? And you have some tooling, you have plugins for Blender that work great for that, and it's actually built to build meshes, right? And you can grab that mesh, you can import it into Rogue Engine and use it, right? So that's the proper tool for it. That's the proper tool. Right, you just add a tree mesh to it, you bring it here, you add a tree mesh, and you have a terrain that you can use and play around with. You know, someone did that recently, and I created a little tree mesh, created a mesh terrain in Blender, brought it into Rogue Engine, added a tree mesh glider, and it worked perfectly, worked amazing. Yeah, I think she was called also. He's called Simon as well. He's Simon or Simon. I don't know. I don't really know. So yeah, mate. I don't know. You know, that's what I recommend. That's what I recommend always. Okay, it says create shaded material and assign it to your mesh. Export class material. What is this, mate? Why are you writing that? I mean, does help with modeling the terrain and all the textures? If using Blender, can 3D models from Blender get imported to game engine? Oh yes. Yeah, I answered that, mate. Yes, thank you. Imported to my scene. It's okay. It's plain. What terrain should be created in 3D program, imported as GLB, and then used the game engine to apply shader material? Yes. You can apply your shader. You can apply, like, you can bring you can create a material, and you know, just bring in your the best way I would do it is just generate the texture properly in Blender, like texturize it in Blender, generate the texture there, you bring in, and you get the material, and you add the texture in your material. That's the best way you can do this. That's the best way. And one material, like a single material, just one material and one image. Right, that's the best way, because that's two drawbles, right? That's the material and the image. So yeah, just do that, please. If that's the proper way to go about this. But since you asked how you can do this, this geometry of mesh terrain is created in 3D Max export as GLB and then using shader to texture it. I mean, you can do that. Yeah, you can just grab the The thing is, you can create some kind of shader to texture it, right? But you have to program a shader. You have to do all this shader math. So I mean, if you can texture it in 3ds Max, or or Blender, or anywhere, right, in a 3D software that's done for that, made for that, and it's actually not going to be spending GPU cycles on it. It's not going to be spending all that stuff. You don't really want to like spend more cycles in things that are, unless your game, the mechanics of your game are made for, let's generate this on runtime. It's best to just bring it in, just bring it in, download it, just have the model, the GLB, or some kind of object that is already part of your scene. That's the best way to do this, and I think that's what you want. Like 99% of the time, you want your objects to be, I think for most games you're gonna play, it's not gonna have generated stuff like stuff that's generated in the moment, because it's just gonna spend a lot of processing time that you should probably want to be spent in other ways. It's not saying that it should be that way, right? I'm not saying it should be that way, but it's in general is what makes things easier, right? Because you can work with the designer, mostly you're a designer, right? So everything is fine, but imagine how many times one must test and experiment. It's almost feels like giving up on it. But after some tests, once you see the results, then you can define your flow better. Yeah, you can. I mean, you create if you create a mesh of Blender and you texture it and it looks nice, you can bring it into Rogue Engine. It's going to work really cool. But yeah, I recommend, I don't know, I'm probably going to make this, like I said, into a package or something and just bring it up there so you can play around with this and you can see the code and see how it works and all that. I'm probably going to make a more pro one, like a proper generator, like some kind of runtime generator or something. I'm going to make it, that's going to be obviously for the license holders. As always, I'm trying to bring you the best possible tooling that I can, motivate people to come in and help out Rogue Engine. That's always the thing we're trying to do. The work that we need to do. So yes, but this is it. I want to see how nice is this, eh? It looks good, doesn't it? This looks nice. Okay, if you bring your texture, if you bring your texture from Blender and all that, for any software, image generation software, whatever. Yeah, this is fairly easy to do. So but yeah, it looks nice. But again, I don't know if it's better than anything you can generate in Blender. If you have a height map and that's all you need, and you have already the texture for the map, height map and texture, then you can use this definitely. So yeah, I'm probably just gonna make it I'm probably just gonna make it a package, make it into a package, and yeah, I'll show it again later on, probably in another live stream or something. But it's interesting. I think it's gonna be nice. So what else we have? So Jorge saying on Twitch, when ready to deploy to a production environment, does Rogue help with building the game to other platforms? Example would the use would be to use Electron or Tauri for universal platform deployment. I mean, what you get from Rogue Engine is a let me go back. Here. Okay, here we go. So what you get from Rogue Engine is it's a static website you can deploy anywhere you want. You can use Tauri, you can use Electron, you can use, you're free to just throw it in a server somewhere, a web server somewhere. You can use Ionic, you can use all these things, all this software you have out there. You can use that. I've been thinking about adding some kind of support for to add these sort of platforms. I've been thinking it for quite a while. So obviously it takes time. It's not that simple. Like for instance, for iOS and all the stuff, you need to have like your credentials and all these things. So it's not as straightforward. It can be done, of course, yes, of course, and it's not that terrible, that hard. I mean, I think it's easier to just do it yourself if you have the stuff to just generate a process that you can actually use to keep deploying, to keep deploying your game. I think that's a better option. But that's what I would recommend. That's what I would recommend, like 99% of the time. If you have if you can create a proper process for yourself for that, that's what I would recommend. Like definitely 100%. But yeah, I'll probably at some point create this the exporter for some of the platforms and all that, at least for like a little, if I'm trying to get Tori, everything together with Tori. I'm gonna try to make a proper Tori export, right? I've been thinking about migrating Rogue Engine to Tori as well. So that will be an interesting one. Okay, so I wanted to show you something though. So I'm gonna come here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna invite everyone to join our Discord. Go to rogueengine.io and look at the Discord image there, and just click there and join Discord. Please join our Discord and come together with us to have some fun. We can talk there. You can ask for your help. And that's it's fun, just join our Discord, join our Discord. And I'm going to share my screen again because I'm going to show you Simon says, remember the testing map when you think you just have terrain, because plain it's not that cool. The man also want to use the car or walk on the terrain. You cannot limit what? Only by using plain terrain, it must have to test collisions or simply walking on it. Oh my god, mate, what? The good thing when important GLB, you can really separate your terrain from water section or size polygons. The terrain, as you saw, I mean, I showed you how the terrain has a collider in it, right? I mean, you can see here. I think are we seeing this? Yes, we're seeing this. The terrain has a collider in it. I mean, do you see the collider? And you're actually walking around it. So this works with everything. And you can bring any mesh. If you bring a mesh from somewhere else, like from Blender or anywhere else, you can actually bring your mesh from Blender, add a tree mesh, and it will work. And just like here, it has a tree mesh and it will work. From Blender, you can bring in your tree mesh, like any sort of mesh, like any terrain that you bring in, and it will work. It will work perfectly fine. Yeah, so don't worry about it. It will work. As you can see, it has a body here. The body is up here. It has the fixed type, and just this has a tree mesh, and you can just walk around it. I'm walking around with this third-person controller. With the third-person controller, you just drag and drop it, right? You can just drag and drop it from here, right? It's just where is it? The here it is, right? Third-person controller here. You can bring the car in as well, right? You can just drop the car there, but I don't think that's very useful. And yeah, it will work. It will work with any of the controllers that you create, with all the colliders and stuff. With Rapier, of course, right? Because you're using a Rapier body. But yes, this will definitely work for you. And what else? Okay. Okay. Thank you there, Simon. Thank you very much. No, we're not moving to Discord. I'm inviting everyone to join the Discord. I'm inviting everyone to join there because we can, I can offer help there any time and all that. If you need help with anything of any of these things, support and all that, I'm always there. And it's just fun, we can hang out together always there on Discord. We always you know, always helping out and yeah, trying to grow the community and everyone. You know, if you need anything, anyone there who can help you will help you, obviously. And and yeah, Simeon, I recommend you go back later on and watch the whole thing, like from the beginning until the time you showed up, because I explained a bunch of things there, you know. So watch it later on there, because you're gonna find some interesting stuff. I especially made this because you asked for it. So okay, yeah, you're gonna find that interesting. But the good thing is that people show what they build with Rogue Engine on Discord, right? So someone shared this. Chris actually showed the game he's building. He's building a Kyrokite, right? And so kudos to him. Amazing with his job he's doing there. I'm gonna bring this on here. I don't know if you're gonna be able to hear. It has dialogues, lots of things. Let me bring it in here. Okay, let me see if I can. It's called kyrokite.com, and yeah, I'm gonna see if I can bring you here with me. Let me see if I can. I think it's Alt 1. I think I have my my thing here. Can you see me? Can you see me here? Okay, yeah, you can see me there. There you go. Right. There you go. There you go. So yeah, it's whoa. Let me reload this thing. Okay, so but oh, okay, yeah, it's shooting. Yeah, but I just couldn't see it. Yeah. Okay. Because oh, my volume is way down. My volume is way down, I think. I don't think you can hear this. I don't think you can hear the shooting there. But it has dialogues. It has shooting and all that. And he did a great job. He used the I don't think you can hear the dialogues. But I'm gonna go and kill these space pests. I'm being told by this lady that I should go and kill the space pests. Go. I'm gonna go there and start shooting these stupid space pests. You know, and so yeah, it's true. I don't know. It's a first attempt. He's doing this alpha, and it's really good. Let me mute this. But yeah, it's really good. He launched very fast. You know, he built this thing, and it's just he was building all these other systems because he needs this drop system for a like for a multiplayer. He's actually turned this into a multiplayer game. So he's making this his first missions, like this first like how do you call them, single player missions. And it's really good. It's really good to see people coming out there and just building stuff and bringing them out here, bringing them out into the wild, letting people play them, play around with them, critique these things, and help to help you improve, to help you keep building your game, and to help you keep you know, bringing up your game as well, right? Bringing up your game. And this is really good. This is really good. You know, he's doing a great job. He's working hard with it. You know, his free time, and it's about bringing in a childhood game that he used to play a lot, and trying to you know, to sort of fill that void that game left, which is amazing. So congrats to him. Thank you for releasing this. He has a Patreon as well, where he's starting to gather you know, patrons there to work on his yeah, on the next version of this. And yeah, go and help him out. You know, if you can support him on Patreon, you know, he wants to actually bring this sort of oh, there you go. There I have my enemies there. I'm gonna get killed. I died. I died. So yeah, but oh, here you go. Here's his Patreon. He has a Patreon here, you know. So go to his Patreon, help him out. Okay. And yeah, and thank you for listing us here as well in the links. And yeah, go there, check it out. And he has this also, he made this YouTube video showing how he's actually working on the game. And so yeah, that's amazing. That's really good stuff. Anyone building stuff and promoting the work that they do with Rogue Engine, I'm always thankful, and because it's really nice. And everyone who puts themselves out there building anything, I have big respect for whatever they're building in. But mostly when they're doing it with Rogue Engine, I'm obviously magnificently thankful. And see how I really appreciate that he released the version 000. That is super nice. I mean, you don't need a complete game to launch something and start letting people play a game. Just launch it. Just launch something, and start building something. Start building a community around it. This is really good. And I'm really happy. This is this is version 0, and it's really good. It has you have to see how all the dialogues interact and all that. That's really nice. It feels it immerses you a lot. It changes a lot. The game changes a lot when you add dialogues to it. It adds this new layer of things that of feelings to what you're doing, right? It's really nice. So what do we have here in the chat? I'm looking at the chat. No, seriously, I never expected to see something like, okay. The most recent stuff starts later. I hear just a bit. It says okay, you could hear something. Okay. Because extruding the surface base high map is okay, but when you will try to texture the hills, the slopes, the steep parts, you will see there is a ton of float uniforms one has to include. Okay, that's Simon on YouTube there. And Jorge says, hey, if you launch V0 that looks good, you waited too long to launch. Yeah, that is absolutely true, mate. That's absolutely true. I mean, version 0 should look horrible. But this actually, I mean, it has all these dialogues, and it has all these it already has all these little things he put together. And I know for a fact, because he's been sharing on Discord all this other stuff that he built, like all the drops and stuff, and you can watch it. Oh well, you can watch in his videos there, in his YouTube channel there. You just go to his YouTube channel and watch what he's been doing. There, Chris Grimet, very cool stuff there. So congratulations to him for the release here, and yes, of course, everyone building with Rogue Engine, big thanks. Well, it's also Marky, right? Mark is building these incredible stuff. I already talked about it before, right? But where is the Marky stuff? But yeah, I'm probably gonna do one tomorrow. We're gonna talk about Marky's ones because I don't want to just go and talk about the show Marky's work like that just really fast. But let's dedicate a bit more time to it. Also, I want to ask him if we can show it here, properly display it here now, right? Because I know he's migrating some stuff he had in Unreal Engine, and he's migrating much of that into Rogue Engine. So I'd like to see what parts of it, if he has released some of these parts yet, and we can actually show them here. That would be really cool. And just dedicate time to actually go into that. In fact, I think he did, because I think he shared a link. I'm gonna have to go and look back, but I would really like to go into that. But yes, this was a pressing one. Thank you so much to Chris for this, for releasing this version 0. Very brave and amazing stuff. Thank you very much. And what else? And also mip map, strip liner, blending, a lot of things. I'm telling you. Yeah, man, you're telling a lot of things, but I think you're talking about something we already went past the the terrain, I think, for now. But yeah, the terrain stuff we're gonna keep you're gonna have all the code there to look at and all that, so don't worry about that. I'm probably gonna turn that, like I said, into a package, this terrain thing, and you can play around with it later. You know, you can just build something nice with this. You can build a little game with it. I don't know. You can, if you have the height map and you have the textures for it, you know, you can just create it here, and it'll work. And it'll look cool. And you don't need to do, you don't need to go through Blender if that's what you don't want to do. Just add a tree mesh and it works, right? Just go around and just walk around it. But yeah, I think that's cool, right? I think that's cool. And yeah, to everyone there, if I don't know who is there in Twitch, on YouTube, or anything else, everyone else, say hello. Please say hello before we wrap this live stream up, because we're not going to be doing too much more today. We went through the code of this we went through the code of this terrain generator, height map terrain generator thing, which I think it's quite interesting, isn't it? It's not too complicated. It's very small. It has this bilinear filtering by Simon Dev. Again, go watch Simon Dev's channel. Very nice stuff he has there, and his GitHub there. He gives you all the code on GitHub. Brilliant lad. I mean, so smart. I mean, all the stuff and the stuff, you will learn a lot just watching his videos. Really good. Also get inspired. That's the most important part. I think I think he gets you inspired. He gets you inspired because he shows you what these tools are capable of, and then you go like, wow, I could actually build something with this, you know. And I think that's the best thing he does, and you should really go and watch that. You know, you should really go and watch that. Yeah, very smart guy, extremely smart. I mean, much smarter than I'll ever be. Probably knows a lot more about this, at least, you know. So yeah, definitely a guy you want in this thing. The guy you want to be teaching you about all these things. You're great at our response with action. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you very much. And it was great meeting you. Thank you, Jorge. Thank you very much. It was great meeting you as well, mate. Thank you for joining us. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight. Thank you so much. You know, I know this is not the longest live stream and or the most interesting in the sense of we're not building anything tonight. I just showed you some interesting stuff that I've been building. I showed you I think the bare bones of this terrain generator thing, which I think is going to be nice. I think it's going to keep improving, and we can have a better, high terrain generator here. Yeah, it's gonna be cool, right? And the more things we add to it, I think it's gonna be nice. Like I said, if you are good with Blender, you probably want to use that. But yeah, just play around with it. I don't know, just play around with it. I like that you have access to that code and you can play around with it. That's the way I want. That's what I actually want. I like to see if you can come up with something way cooler with that example in your hands. Also, look at the code of the other. See all the packages that you can download there. All the code is there right there for you to look at. So just grab that code and build something with it. You know, just learn about it. Just start reading the code, see how it's all put together, and learn how you can actually, just try to figure out how you can put something together for yourself, right? Because it's all of it. It's just code components doing stuff for you. So yes, just look at it. Look at the integration, how Rapier is put together there in Rogue Engine. That's something really good to do. It's a great exercise if you really want to learn how to do lots of 3.js stuff, mostly Rogue Engine 3.js stuff. Go and look at the components. Go and look at the different integrations we have. So yes. Let's have a last look here, a last monitor here in the YouTube world, and everyone here. Let's see what's going on here on YouTube. We have like 3 people here on YouTube. We don't have that many people. We have a few more people here on Twitch. Look at that. Now, which is interesting. All right, okay. We're wrapping this up. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I am honored to have you here. I am honored to be here, to be hosting this for you. I've been thinking about how to call this, and I think I'm making games in 3.js regular engine. I think it's a proper way. You know, it's a long title, but I think it's a title that most people can find easily and you know, respond to it in a way. So I've been thinking about that, how to call this sort of live session that we have. I've been thinking about also how many we should have in a week. Like maybe 4 times a week or something. I probably want to do Wednesday, Thursdays, or Mondays and Thursdays and Fridays and Saturdays sometimes, and like doing game development on Fridays and Saturdays. We can do a longer runs and just actually build a lot of stuff. And yeah, next time we'll keep building our very, very nice, very, very cool tower defense game. I'm gonna give you a last pick of it before we go. For anyone new here, I'm gonna give you a pick of the tower defense we were building the other day, and we're gonna keep building that. Probably tomorrow we're gonna keep going through it, and we're gonna look at different things we're gonna be adding. Obviously, if you have any ideas or things you want to keep adding for the tower defense, remember we're building tower defense now. Like to add into the terrain or anything like that. Just think tower defense mechanics for placing the stuff in the scene, you know, and all that. Think of that. Think of different tooling that we could add. Let me bring the screen. Let me bring the here. I think you're watching it now. Yes. Okay. So we built this little thing here. If you haven't seen it before, yeah. These little towers here that kill our minions that come out. Very fun, very, very, very nice. So yes, we have the generations, these waypoints that these little minions go through, right? And I think it's really fun, right? Because we already have this bare bones structure to make a tower defense game, but now we need to keep adding stuff. We need more weapons. We need to see how to do maybe an area damage. How to do different types of towers. Maybe a tower that spawns little minions there to fight, little soldiers and things like that. So yeah, let's do that. Okay, let's do that for next time. Probably tomorrow or Saturday. I think it's gonna be tomorrow. I'm gonna decide probably tomorrow itself. Tomorrow early in the morning when I wake up, I'm gonna put on the schedule the live stream, and again, I'm not gonna announce it. It's if you see this live stream, I'm not gonna announce the other live stream. I'm just gonna go in. Okay, I'm not gonna tell anyone. I'm just gonna schedule it and come in. Okay, if you see it, remember you're gonna see me building this game live. All right. Okay, so you just it says Jorge says, I know you have let me see. Jorge says, I know you have a flat map for that, but it would be a nice upgrade to use some Kenny's assets. I see you have them in the market. Yes. We have some Kenny's assets there. Yeah, you can use Kenny's assets. I think the best way to use Kenny's assets actually on Blender. Actually, just putting them together, like putting something together. Blender has some better tools to kind of put stuff together, and then you can bring like the build mesh into Rogue Engine, like a proper like build environment. But yeah, we can do that. Yeah, we can. You can definitely like play around. Mostly with the code, you can just instantiate things or load them in different places. Finwood here on Twitch says hello. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining us, mate. Glad to have you with us. And yeah, we're just wrapping up. We're just saying goodbye. But yes, please join us in the next one. Join us tomorrow. Join us on Saturday as well. We're gonna be making. We're gonna keep building live, and but yes. Yeah, mate, you just it came at the very end. But yeah, let's join tomorrow. Let's get back at it tomorrow to build this game. And yes, we did the terrain generation. I recommend you go back and watch the VOD, or go watch the go watch it on YouTube as well. You can the YouTube channel is beardscript on YouTube. Just go watch it there if you want as well. It's gonna be there obviously for a while. And yeah, so yeah, give us a like there, give us a like and a subscription there. Thank you very much, mate. Give us a follow there on Twitch as well tomorrow, you know, to keep pushing there. The Twitch hates us. Twitch hates us. Twitch absolutely hates us. So yeah, let's let's try to keep building the thing. All right, mates. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and it's been great as always. It's an honor for me to be here with you as always. So see you next time.